We've got the all-new Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid.
Now recently we just drove the regular gasoline model, so let's get in this one and see how it differs. Ooh, that's smooth and powerful. I like it already,
and
Andrea.
What a quiet cabin.
Yeah, we're in the Santa Fe Hybrid. What's under the hood?
A 1.6-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with a 6-speed automatic transmission and an electric motor. It produces 226 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque.
Did you notice a couple of things in there? One, it's got a small turbo 4-cylinder, and two, it's got a regular 6-speed automatic transmission.
Well, no CVT.
Well played, Hyundai. Well played. Now, we just recently did the Tucson Hybrid, which uses the same driveline. The card is right here. We strongly encourage you to watch that when you get a moment, but that one's a good one. There's so much stuff coming up in this video. We answer your questions in Questions, Coffee, and Cars.
We've got our hot topic, pricing, fuel economy.
It's so much stuff coming up, but right now we're going to get into what do you get with this Santa Fe Hybrid with the key standard features.
The preferred trim in Canada comes with an 8-inch touchscreen, a 4.2-inch information display, wireless Apple Carplay and Android Auto, leather-wrapped heated steering wheel, cloth seats, 8-way power driver's seat, LED headlights, a temporary spare tire, and 18-inch alloy wheels.
There's a big dial here. It's the terrain settings, eco, snow, mud. What do we need to put it in?
We've got to put it in as for subscribe, and if you can hit the notification bell, that really supports the channel. You'll be notified when the videos drop, and then you can watch them.
We do so many videos each week. It's like boom. There's so much stuff. We do these couple car reviews every Wednesday.
Saturday morning, another couple car review.
On Monday, we do the live show. If you have any questions about new cars, we answer them then.
And on Tuesday, we drop a comparison.
So make sure you subscribe. And while you're at it, you want to follow on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea to find out what the cars that are coming up, when they're going to drop. It's interactive. For me, it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below. This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below. Andrea, I'm going to ask you a very simple question. What company do you think of that has the most advanced technology when it comes to drive systems? Would you think Toyota?
I would think Toyota.
They're very good, but it's actually Hyundai. They have gasoline, they have battery electric vehicles, they have hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and they even have a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle called Nexo. So a lot of people don't think of Hyundai, but they actually have quite a bit, and this is a new one.
Now, Zach, what do you think of this exterior? Because I'm loving it.
Now, recently we had the Tucson Hybrid. Once again, you can click on that card anytime to watch it. I like the exterior look of that one better, but I think I like the interior of this one better.
I really love the chrome, and it looks so sharp with this magnetic gray color. It's got a real Palisade vibe with the big grille.
You know what I think Hyundai is doing? I really truly believe that Santa Fe, they're targeting at traditional car buyers, Gen X and boomers, and the Tucson, they're targeting at, millennials that can afford to buy a car like that, and maybe even younger. One is skewing older, one is skewing younger. That's what I'm picking up.
I can see that on the gas model because the calligraphy trim is priced quite high, over $47,000. But I gotta disagree with you on this hybrid model because they are priced very close.
It's not just the pricing, it's the vibe. I think the outside, as you mentioned, with the chrome, a little more stately looking.
Right.
And then when you talk about the inside, the buttons and things in here are going to appeal probably to slightly older buyers. And that futuristic clean look on the Tucson, I think, is going to skew younger. Hey, that's just my idea. You tell us what you think.
There's some crazy packaging in this hybrid compared to the gas model.
And compared to the Tucson. Like, it's strange the way they've done it. Let's talk about the spare tire, Andrew, because that's something that's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. So the hybrid comes with a spare tire and it's stored underneath the vehicle, but the gas model does not get one. And the Tucson Hybrid doesn't get one.
It's weird.
Strange. And then the other thing is that when we stepped into this vehicle, we were expecting the 10.25-inch screen because it is the top model. No, this hybrid only comes with the 8-inch screen. It does have wireless Apple CarPlay on the 8-inch screen. The larger screen only gets wired. There is some sort of a software issue or even a contract issue with Google. We're not sure about it, but the bigger screen does not get wireless.
When we got into it, we looked at the center console and I'm like, well, it's missing all these buttons because we drove the calligraphy, and the one thing we pointed out is this array of beautiful buttons. I like buttons. You can just, it's really easy, right? Instead of having to go into a screen. That speaks to me. But then I get in, like, it's missing a row of buttons. And then we realized, oh, because the radio's different. That's why.
Yeah.
So, why Hyundai? Why couldn't you just give us that calligraphy interior with the hybrid system?
I think it's a real miss. In the US, you do get the larger screen.
Really?
And and you get a wireless charger on all trims in the US. That's not the case for us. It's only available on the top trim. You have to get the Trend package for $2,100 in Canada to get the panoramic roof or even leather seating surfaces. Without it, you're not getting that. I actually think there's more value with the top trim in Canada because once you get the preferred trim and the Trend package, there's only a $2,400 difference, and you get so much more with the top trim, like you get ventilated front seats, heated rear seats, driver's seat memory. These things make a difference to people, and it's only a little bit more.
Now let's get into the difference between the Tucson. One thing that's interesting is the cargo area, even though this is 6 inches longer, is bigger in the Tucson than the Santa Fe. So they've taken all of that space and spread it over the front 2 rows.
Yeah.
So that's where you're going to want this. If you like to spread out and you need a little bit more room, that's the difference between the Tucson and this.
Yeah, the Tucson is not as wide, not as tall, and not as long as this Santa Fe, but you get the cargo space. And like you said, Zach, that makes a difference to some people.
Actually, it kind of comes up in our questions. So let's stop and have coffee and answer them now.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Which of the two, Santa Fe or Tucson hybrids, would you choose from a comfort, acceleration, and cabin noise perspective? I'm sure the Tucson is peppier, but the other 2 points. It definitely is a bit peppier. You're right. The Tucson, for sure. It weighs a lot less.
How much
like
less?
Over 400 pounds less.
That's a big difference.
Lot.
That's a couple of chunky guys in the back seat.
Oh my God.
So then you get into the comfort. I would say they're both comfortable. This is more room, okay? It's the difference between the Santa Fe and the Tucson is this is wider and a little bit longer. It feels a little bit more open. If you're a plus size person or your family are big, you're going to want this one.
Yeah, you're right, Zach. This Santa Fe is 6 inches longer and around 1.5 inches wider, so it does make a difference. Noise level, I would say they're both equivalent.
In
they're
fact,
both very quiet.
This one might be a little noisier because it's heavier. The gas engine comes on more often.
It does.
Something to think about.
Yeah, and you see that with the fuel economy, not as good as the Tucson Hybrid. Same engine configuration as the Tucson. Is it comparable? I would have thought it would have gotten a bigger engine as it is a bigger car. Surprisingly, the dollars are very similar for these two. You're right. They both have 2 trims. The Santa Fe is only a little bit more than the Tucson. So I don't know. It's really difficult to decide which one you would get.
It is a little bit more spirited in the Tucson. However, Toyota does the same thing with RAV4 and Venza. Venza is a little bit bigger, but they use the exact same driveline. They're doing the same thing here at Hyundai. I would call in this car the power adequate.
Yes. Why buy this hybrid when a PHEV is coming out soon? With government rebates, I may end up paying less for a PHEV. What are the benefits of a PHEV over a hybrid? The great thing about a PHEV, you plug it in every night, whatever the electrical range is that you have on that particular model can really benefit you at the pumps, especially if you're doing short city trips all the time.
Now, it really comes down to where you live and what the rebate is, right? For example, in Canada, the province of Quebec gives you massive, very generous rebates. They're paying you to buy an electric car.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. But in other jurisdictions, it might not be that great. The other thing is, there was a study that came out in California that 20%, 1 in every 5 people that had a PHEV reverted back with their next vehicle to a gasoline model because they didn't like to have to plug it in all the time.
Well, one of our friends in California used to have a plug-in as well, and she said, I never plugged it in. ever.
And then she got a regular gas car. So
Yeah.
she's one of the 1 in 5 in California that did that.
Yeah. And that's it. Thanks for all your questions. Thanks for participating, as always.
All
We
right.
love it.
If you want to follow Andrea and get a question in, it's Motormouth_Andrea on Instagram. And now, because you hear the music, it's time for Nightlife. We keep one question back from Questions, Coffee, and Cars and expand on it. It's our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
Is Hyundai the new Toyota and Honda? Their style and designs has become so much better. Toyota and Honda seem to be lagging behind.
Well, Andrea, I would agree with that to a certain extent. Brand loyalty and brand awareness doesn't happen in years, it happens in decades.
Yeah.
Right? So Hyundai and Kia and Genesis, they've got to do this for decades to get to the same place that Toyota and Honda is.
So true. And anytime there is an issue with reliability on any Hyundai model, they take a step back. And people will say, no, I'm going to go with the Toyota because it is dependable. And that is the problem. Day in and day out, you have to deliver consistent products.
It's so hard. You think about the monumental task of making and engineering a car and then have it last week, month, year after year, for years, with all you have to do is change the oil and put gas in it. That's what you'd get when you get a Toyota.
That's what you get, and that's why people buy them. Like you say, Zach, it's the bank of Toyota. The money you put in, you get it right back out.
It's like an echo in here. All right, while we're at it, let's look at what else you can buy.
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
We've picked 4 alternative hybrids for you to consider. The Kia Sorento is only available in the US and it's front-wheel drive. There's no all-wheel drive option. It is the same engine and hybrid system as the Santa Fe Hybrid, producing the same horsepower and torque. It has a starting price of $33,500 US.
Next up is the stablemate to this, the Hyundai Tucson, with the same 1.6-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, 6-speed automatic transmission, and their electric drive system. Total output is the same as the Sorento and the Santa Fe at 226 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. It's all-wheel drive only with a starting price of almost $39,000 Canadian. The top trim is $41,500.
Up next is the Toyota RAV4. It has a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder gas engine matched with a CVT with Toyota's hybrid system, producing 219 horsepower. It has a starting price of just under $33,000, and the top trim is $43,500.
Next up is the Toyota Venza. It has a little bit more luxury than the RAV4, but the same drive system, 219 horsepower, but the starting price is higher at $38,500. The top trim is $47,500. So there are 4 hybrids for you to consider. You know, in a second, we're going to get into the price and the fuel economy and kind of how it differs from the Tucson, the stablemate.
Yeah.
I think, you know, my theory about this skewing a little bit older, I'm going to stick with that. I think the added weight of this vehicle and the larger dimensions make it feel a little bit more upscale, which will appeal to maybe slightly older buyers.
I think that it's very comfortable. The power is perfect in here. I mean, it accelerates quickly when you go. It offers the same quiet cabin. The turning radius is excellent. I find the steering to be a little bit heavier on this than the Tucson, but overall, it's a great product.
All right, now, there's not much in it when it comes to the price, but the fuel economy there is. So let's do our price pause and fuel economy.
The Santa Fe Hybrid starts at just over $39,000 and the top luxury trim is just under $44,000. Here's the fuel economy: 7.1 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 7.9 on the highway. That's 33 miles per gallon city, 30 miles per gallon highway.
So this Santa Fe is bigger, it is heavier, so we've given you the fuel economy for this. How's it differ for the Tucson?
There's no doubt about it. The Tucson gets better fuel economy, 6.3 liters per 100 kilometers in the city and 6.6 on the highway. Now you compare it to the RAV4 with 5.8 liters per 100 kilometers in the city and 6.3 on the highway. And then there's the Sorento front wheel drive where it gets 39 miles per gallon in the city and 35 on the highway. Those are some really good numbers.
Okay, Andrea, right now you have to answer, is it the Tucson Hybrid or the Santa Fe Hybrid? Go.
Tucson.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? I would probably choose it as well, based just on the exterior of the Tucson. I like that.
I wish that it had the extra features that you get in the US and also what you get on the Tucson Hybrid. I really want that 10.25 inch screen. We do get the 12.3 inch digital driver display, which is great, but I think they need to up their game with this hybrid and make it more like the gas model.
It's a shame. They kind of missed a great opportunity here.
Well, this new Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid, it doesn't disappoint. You've got to take it for a test drive.
Now, when you think of advanced technology in vehicles, you honestly think of Toyota, but actually Hyundai is the leader right now. This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below.